Welcome to the 8th episode of the Injustice Gods Among Us podcast. With me is Godofgods
Hello.
and Maui.
Hi.
Hello, guys. This week the challenge is Batman Ninja Lord Joker. What do you guys think of him?
Sexy.
Of course.
Yeah, his crazy mustache is appealing, to say the least.
Very appealing.
He's got an
other
eccentric
than that-
fashion sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was one of my first golds. I'm pretty sure either my second or my third gold.
I always wondered, but when did you start playing?
Well, I'm talking about my new account. If we're talking about my old account, that's a different story. But that was many millennia ago. Because I had to obviously start up a different account when I came back, because I used to play on iPad,
Yeah. Oh.
and they don't allow you to switch accounts like that. So, but yeah, if we're talking about original game, no, the original game, never even heard of him, because I don't even think it was out. But yeah, starting over, coming back to the game, he was just about my second or third gold. So.
Nice.
He's got pretty good stats, right? So he's good for beginners.
Yeah, he actually, because of I think his attack stats pretty decent. He was able to carry me through the majority of the campaign before I even had to evolve any of the goals, just using strategy alone as well.
It's promote, not evolve.
Okay, excuse me.
You're
How
excused.
could you?
You should be ashamed.
I should be
Yang
ashamed.
man.
Yeah, I
The
think
young guns
like coming
these
back
days
to
don't know.
Batman Ninja.
I think I've played a little bit too much of Monster Legends. Okay, we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
Got it. So that's not very fair.
About Lord Joker. So yeah, his passive is Cult of the Demon King. When Lord Joker KOs an enemy for 10 seconds, his attacks cause 100% life drain, and enemy life drain heals him. And Gunner teammates' special attacks cause 20% damage to the opponent's tagged out teammates. And Gunners are Deadshot, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Lobo, the Joker. It has the two batarangs.
Yeah, there's I think 3 different Batman special ones. The longest one from the newer characters, that one can apply 2 to 3 times. And then the older one of like Prime Batman can do it twice. And then there's one from like Batman Animated, and he only does it once.
Yeah, because he uses the Stan special one.
Yeah, if you would like to check which characters have how many gear, can shatter how many gears, I happen to have made a very handy list a couple months ago. A list of gold specials, which also includes how many gear effects it applies.
I have a feeling that the game devs didn't mean for us to go into such depths, because I was watching some videos on Call of Duty Zombies this week because I was bored. And a YouTuber I saw mentioned that no one expected anyone to go into such depths in Call of Duty in general. And now that you mentioned that you made the spreadsheet, I got reminded of this specific thing, because I don't think there's too many games that people go through the trouble of making like entire spreadsheets and analyzing every aspect of the game.
I think there's a lot of games that do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I would say there's a lot of games that get many people, so there's certain players that specialize, I guess, in compiling information, but I wouldn't say every aspect of the game. Like, I guess you could say in almost every game there's some people that would go to such lengths, but there's too few communities that revolve around, I guess, the in-depth. I don't know how to say it.
Well, yeah, you make a great point because
it makes traction in this community for specific.
Yeah, it also
Well,
applies
I mean-
because Injustice is all about pre-game preparation, right? It's not so
Yeah,
much about the gameplay. Eventually,
Well, I also think because it is somewhat of an, I was gonna say older game because it really is.
yeah, it's one of the oldest.
Older games in general get I would say a decent amount of attention to like stats and spreadsheets of information that when it's first coming out it's really not going to be terribly useful, but because there's no updates, stuff like that, you're going to see a lot of this. Like I can even say for like on PlayStation I have Final Fantasy 12, and even looking it up, there's RNG manipulation that you can use to get items you want out of certain chests or drops from enemies. So I think it largely has to do, having a community of people who are dedicated to gathering information about the game. It has a large amount to do with just how old the game is. And you can still apply that to FPS games, like what gear you're using. So let's say I bring in, I don't know, a sniper rifle, and it's not a very long map. Let's say it's pretty short, and I'm not gonna just go ahead and put on like a 8 times scope on my sniper rifle. So I would prepare for the map, and then still I guess we both found faults in each other's we call it logic because it's not really, I wouldn't call it an argument.
Yeah,
it was a bit pointless, I realize. Let's move on.
Yeah, next topic.
Yeah. Okay,
So
we're cutting this out.
I was talking on Reddit with someone who brought up an interesting point, or at least wanted us to discuss something. Both Candle 9089 wanted us to talk a bit more about defense teams, because that had been at least a week ago when we had the discussion. It was relevant at the time. So I think we should get into it.
Well, okay. Well, first off, do we know where he's at in the game?
I guess not.
He had a pretty decent team with Arkham Origins Deathstroke, so I think he's pretty late game.
Okay, cool. Because if we just started talking about a bunch of late game tactics and defense teams, and this dude only had like 2 gold and a handful of silvers, that might not be the most helpful thing to him.
Well, yeah, but it's also like a matter of we're not just gonna give him some advice and then move on. We should just talk about
we're
it in
talking
general.
about the general topic, but seeing what someone needs is, I would say, the main purpose of talking about the defensive team. Because if he needs advice or something like that, that's kind of why we're talking about this whole thing.
No, I just saw him because he had an interesting team, and I commented on it, and we talked about it a bit. And he suggested that we talk about it in the podcast. So here we are.
Got it. He was not asking for advice. You were just lazy on ideas.
What?
What?
That's a way to put it.
No, well, it just so happened that I spent most of my day perfecting defense teams. At least most of my Injustice time I spent working on my defense teams in secret.
Well, you're like a multiplayer god, so
yeah,
really
that's true.
He's a god among us.
Wow, great.
Thank you.
So, first, before we get into it, there's a difference between the type of defense team that you're looking for, because you can have like a bronze team, a very low stat team with great gears, and then get all wins, but you only get like 1,000 battle rating for each win.
Yeah.
But that's an easy way to get wins, and I I mean, it's fun for a bit, but it's not, doesn't make you a defense master if you don't get the maximum or close to the maximum battle rating, in my opinion.
Everyone who does this should be insulted. He is insulted.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take offense at me.
I've seen too many people say that they use full silver teams with the greatest gear just on purpose so they could annoy other players.
Well, yeah, sure, but you can't call yourself a defense master when you use teams like that.
I mean, there's some pretty broken silver cards. Let's talk about Green Lantern and Cyborg alone.
Yeah, but on defense, not really.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I mean, true. I think I agree with them because the characters on silver even say they are elite 10, so max stats, the opponents that they would get, they would be like almost at the same level, but most people that have gold teams at that level, they are probably not either very good, not good at the game, because I mean you can't be bad at the game, but they're probably relatively new, so they don't have many gears. So
yeah, that's why it's easier to win those matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
you said you can't be bad at the game. You said I just want to point out something. You said you can't be bad at the game, but there are defensive teams that what was the Batman's name? The one that already starts with 2 energy.
Arkham Origins Batman.
I've seen too many times people put Tantu Totem on him. I don't know if it's like a joke or like some sick twisted game.
Probably they use it for offense because like me, for example, I don't switch between offense and defense teams. I just leave my offense team.
So, yeah, that's how most people do it. And I'm not at all suggesting everyone should do this, because that would make my life way harder.
Everyone should do this, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a mandatory.
Okay. Next type of team, guys. Next type of team.
Okay, the team that doesn't work.
No.
That's what you're talking about.
So, because I've noticed there's a difference between, once you get to a high stat team, there's a difference between the type of people you get matched against when you don't play, and there's a difference between the people who revenge match you. So that's a different level of skill. So you could have a team that performs very well against people just who get matched with you, but then doesn't hold up when someone revenges you.
You know, like 10 times over, because I don't know why.
Yeah. That usually happens quite a lot, with me at least.
Sad. Like, why? Why to me? What did I do?
That's why you need a great defense team. That's the motivation.
My defense team wasn't even good.
What is your defense team?
My defense team? Oh, sorry, 1 second. Guys. Quiet. Started rallying against me. Oh my god. So my defense team, I mean, really mediocre. I put Killer Frost and Green Lantern in there, the Silver Green Lantern. And then I think I have Batman Ninja Nightwing with a decent gear. A couple of decent gears, I would say. So, I mean, it's not a defensive team. It's just what I used in the past. Because, as we've discussed, I rarely play Injustice anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. I've played like how many times? I've played 2 times this week because I don't know. I was watching a video, so I just got the motivation to do 2 challenges of Lord Joker. But yeah, other than that, I also haven't played that much.
Yeah,
I play quite a bit, but it turns out that I play just pretty much. I spent like 70% of my time perfecting a defense team or looking to see if it got any wins. I spend a lot of time on this, guys.
It's your time to shine.
I've been waiting for this one.
We should name this the one-man show and just have you run.
Yeah. we're the extras.
Oh, I'm not even recording your voices right now.
Yeah, nice. Thanks.
So anyways, what I was talking about. My defensive team isn't good. It's not even a defensive team. It's just I refuse to change it because it's my attack team. So, well, it's fine. I remember I got like 5-6 defensive wins in a row, and I was like, hey, that's never happened. I think I even posted about it on the Reddit at some point, and I was like, oh my god, my god. Anyway, because I like you hardly ever see that. That's like so rare. Anyways, so yeah, it's just really bad. So I attacked someone using a bronze. Like they were using a bronze team with. They were pretty geared out, right? And like I guess I must have angered them because they then brought out their max level gold cards and just kind of kept attacking me. I don't know what I did wrong, but I definitely felt the anger. And then like
Peace
he wouldn't
was never an option.
like he didn't like stop. Like he never stopped for good. I would always see him like at least once. I would say like a day for like the rest of the season. I like couldn't get rid of him. He was just there.
Well, then you keep attacking him back.
But he had his like gold cards up. I couldn't beat that. Well, I could. I did actually, but still, very, very, very mean guy.
Yeah, if you just leave it alone, then he can't attack you back. So karma.
I think he likes you.
I think you like him.
Oh yes, actually. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's confirmed. Yep.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
So,
It's just
coming back to your team, what kind of gears did you use?
on Nightwing, if I remember correctly, I have his Tauntaus. I have his. No, actually, I have 2 pieces of LexCorp gear on him for the life drain for his specials. Well, special 2. Yeah, power. No, the power drain is just kind of a benefit. I mainly used it for the because he has a multi-hit SP2, and he can just heal completely if he has 2 pieces of LexCorp on him. I don't remember which one gives him the life drain, either the chest plate or the
chest plate.
Yeah, okay, the chest plate, cool. So basically, whenever I'm fighting, it helps against fucking ravens. Cannot stand them. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take all of your power. So thank God. That's literally the only reason I have it is because the stupid power steal from Batman Ninja Catwoman from Regime Raven. Is it? No, is it Teen Titans or Regime?
I think it's Teen Titans because Regime doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, she's useless, to say the least.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking. Hold on. I need to think of the right Raven. Yeah. God, it was hard to say. But there's one with the stupid whole like once I'm gonna die, I'm gonna steal all your health, and then there's also the one that's like
that's Prime.
Prime, yeah, Prime's the annoying one, and then there's also the one that steals your energy, which I don't like either.
Yeah,
so that is literally the only reason I have him set up that way, is because I'm pretty confident that I can beat everyone else normally, especially if I have Green Lantern there with power generation, so I can keep spamming. And then Killer Frost, because I don't want them spamming, so...
Yeah.
Fair.
But it's literally basically an attack team. I've never delved into defense teams before.
Not a lot of people have, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's too
unfortunate.
Because it's like I know like maybe 5 people at the most who have seriously looked into defense teams, and I include myself into that.
I mean,
sorry?
Is Scopos another one?
Yeah, he's the best. I'm still not at that level of. He showed me like one of his what do you call it? Like a battle log, where he just had the whole thing filled with defense wins.
Didn't he make a Reddit post, or was it someone else? I think. Oh no, I think it was VJ. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
Someone made the post. Yeah, and like he had what 12 defense wins in a row.
Broadly.
Yeah. But that's like not to take away from that, but that's a pretty popular team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess since many of you, well, not many, but some of you have already done the research. I mean, the information is already available to us. So, I mean, there's no real reason to go searching for other teams, especially if you are bored to do so.
Yes, there is. That's the whole point of this episode.
No, really. I mean, everyone already. Look, if I wanted a defense team, I would literally just message you, AG.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
What's a good defense team? And then you would look at your handy dandy spreadsheet and be like, here it is, and here's the gear, and I'd be like, and I wouldn't have to do anything else.
Exactly.
Okay, point taken. But but still, it's I think it's one of the most fun things to do for me, at least at endgame, because it takes a bit longer, and that's not the fun of it. But when you get a defense win, it feels like nothing else.
Spoken like a true online grinder.
Yeah.
The Sigma grind set.
Yeah. God of Gods, your defense team.
I mean, before I go into my defense team, this week I encountered Noah, surprisingly, even though I didn't play at all. Like, I have, 30, 50 bottles this season. But I encountered Noah F, which we had, like, a couple of episodes ago in the podcast.
Yeah.
So I battled his team. He had a Red Lantern Hal Jordan at Elite 10, I think level 54 or something. An Elite 3 New 52 Shazam. And then an Elite 10 level 53, I think. A Red Sun Green Lantern. So he had like a troublesome team, especially his Red Lantern Hal Jordan, because he used the invincibility build on him. But I mean, I bet his team, and he told me that from what I understood, he used a new defense team, I guess, or something, because he told me I was the first person to beat his team. So that's nice, I guess.
That is nice, yeah. He used the Red Lantern Hal Jordan with the invincibility build, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, normally I would always lose on those kind of battles. But, and I told him this, when you... What was it?
What?
Anyways, when UAG told me about the IB stick effects on Jessica Cruz's extended special 2, which basically applies the DOT burning effect 5 times, so 50% DOT.
Might even be 8 times. Not sure.
Oh, well then 8 times, I guess. I would know.
A lot of times. That
a lot of times, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, if I didn't know that, because I mean the DOT burned through his invincibility build, like it was nothing. But yeah, other than that, I had done like a lot of specials on him with other characters before I switched into my Jessica Cruz, just to test out the waters, I guess. So yeah, that's a fun thing. But yeah, my defense team is be ready to be surprised. My offense team, yeah. I know, shocking, right?
I was shocked.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I use my John Stewart on the first slot. I've equipped him with the Acer harness. On my second slot, I have Jessica Cruz with the basic gear, Ibis stick, Acer harness, and Master's Death card. And on my third slot, again, classic Regime Green Lantern. I've got him with the fourth world set. So, I mean, it's more for offense more than defense, because I've kept him this way just in case I encounter characters that have their super move ready, so that he can, I guess, absorb the super move and no one dies from my characters. But yeah, I mean, surprisingly, it's doing well, because I'm getting consistently like a third of my defensive battles, or I guess not a third, but a fourth or a fifth of my defensive battles are wins. I don't know if that's normal, but that's nice.
A
I guess.
fourth. I mean, that's okay for like an offense team.
An offense team, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I've noticed that Jessica Cruz has a very long special too. So by the time that it's finished, she can just spam it again because you're still kind of knocked back.
And the great thing is that even if an opponent has Acer Harness, if you hit and unblock the special 2, you can take off the first layer, which if you have her also augmented, so she crits on her first special 2 moves, I guess. She can even take all of the opponent's shields off, or even kill them at sometimes. But say you didn't take any more shields off and you just hit the 50% mark, I think. The special 2 is so long that you can go through the entire Aster Harness shield, and then when the last part of her specials from her special comes around, which is the cog, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
The saw.
The saw, yeah. You can even take out another Acer Harness shield. So yeah, that's one of the perks, I guess, of her specialty extendeds.
Yeah. And again, matchmaking does play a role. So you having a bit of an unbalanced team also helps your Jessica Cruz to shine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We agree with hacking. Got it.
So I was going to talk about one of my defense teams. It got the best ratio, I guess, of any of my teams. It's Batman Ninja, but it does fall under the category of it does well against teams it's matched against, and not so much against people who revenge me. So it's Batman Ninja Nightwing, and Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and Arkham Harley Quinn. And what makes this team good is because Batman Ninja Nightwing I have with Fourth World, Chest Helm, and the Ninjato, and that's just a great build for any team, really. You can just slap him on anywhere, and he does well.
Yeah.
Then what makes it great is Arkham Origins Deathstroke. Mine is maxed in damage, so max crit augmented, max crit chance, max damage, and then because his passive boosts damage, he does when you augment him for damage, he does way more, right? So he does like in his special 2, he does like 75k damage each hit, and he has like 7. And the last one is 150k, but that's
That doesn't seem very fair.
no, it's not. Especially when you pair that with Arkham Harlequin, who is Elite 1, or Elite 0, but I don't have the console edition, and it helps with matchmaking. But it does make him have a chance for an unblockable special. So because his special 2 has a bunch of rhythmic knocks, it always breaks through, and then you always deal a lot of damage with him. And if it's unblockable or unblocked from the beginning, you can take out 2, maybe even 3 characters in one special 2. So I have him with Tented Totem, Master Death Card, and Astro Harness.
You post your quote unquote findings. I'm going to say quote unquote findings because they've been there a while. Really not too hard to find if you're dedicated like you are. Do you put them on Reddit? Yeah, or
no? But I do mark them in my personal sheet, my Google sheet.
You should really.
It's a private collection.
It's a private collection. You're gonna have people pay to get this information.
You peasant wouldn't know. Us mere casuals wouldn't know of this stuff.
No, but seriously, AG, you should put this somewhere where a bunch of people. I mean, yeah, where a bunch of people can, actually look at it and use it as a resource, because it would be kind of like a staple of injustice if you did
that. Yeah, free advertisement. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would, and I have thought about that, but I also think I ask a lot of people about advice, and do I really want the whole of the injustice community to be an amazingly geared defense people?
This is true.
That's going to slow my grind down. I got to think about that, right?
If I have any inquiries about defensive teams, I'll probably just message you in the future.
Yeah. I mean,
just post your spreadsheet on the chat.
So do I get a friend discount? Is it what are we talking about here?
I'll whip you up with something special. Yeah.
Got it.
So I did, of course, I think about this a lot, and I have asked a lot of people who know of it very well. MG actually inspired me to make a spreadsheet of my findings, because he's big into spreadsheets. If you don't know, I think his spreadsheet about his progress is still on the sub.
Yeah, it was 40 days? No, a bit more, I think.
Yeah, please come back, MG. We miss you.
Yeah.
So I think to get into it, right, there's a couple of principles that you need to abide by if you want to have if you have a certain collection and not just what is it, Shazam, Flashpoint Batman, Flashpoint Aquaman, then you can just whip something up that'll get you decent wins. But if you really want to think about it, a good defense team exists out of at least one character that does a lot of damage, so the carry, right? That's the same with attacking teams, like offense teams. That's the same, that carries over. You need a carry. And then what I did for a long time was I used 2 different tanks. And then sorry?
No, I'm just surprised you used 2 different tanks.
Well, yeah, because it's defense, and you want to create the most time for your carry to tag back in, right?
Oh,
you want to stall time a lot.
I see.
So the gears that you want to use for them is, on one character you want to have at least 4 world set, 2 parts at least, maybe 3, depends on the rest of the team. Then I like to use Ninjato in all my builds, because it's just it does really well. I still don't quite understand how it works, but it does really well.
Yeah.
And then you want to look at a character that has some form of advantage when having the invulnerability build. So whether that's a damage reduction, So like a 20%, like characters, like examples, right, are Suicide Squad, the Joker. If you have 2 Suicide Squad teammates, then he has a damage reduction on his passive. Another example is General Zod, who has a special damage reduction. The most famous one, I think, Batman Ninja Batman. Everyone uses him.
Yeah.
But then you also have like a Red Lantern Hal Jordan, who has 3 bars of energy always. So he benefits from the Batman Ninja helmet the most. So that's also something you can take into account. But the most well-used or the most efficient way to use the invulnerability build in a team is to pair it with an involved new 52 Shazam and then a Justice League member, because that's pretty much fully invulnerable and that's a great way to sell time. And then, yeah, your tank has got to be something. Well, in an ideal world, you'd have it deal some damage, like get some KOs. I use Batman Ninja and Nightwing a lot because he gets some KOs as well, and he does great in with tanking gears. And in Jato, of course, that's what he's famous for.
Yeah.
And then you want to have some sort of carry, some sort of someone who doesn't die quickly, but you still want to have Master Death Card, Astral Harness, and Tenta Totem on him, so he can deal damage but doesn't get interrupted. You don't want to leave it to chance. You don't want to give them the gap, that 1 second to fire their special. Do you have any thoughts so far?
I have one. I hate you.
Thanks. Thank you for.
I feel sorry for all your victims. Yeah, I personally, I don't know what to say. I mean, yeah, I agree. But personally, I don't have that much trouble with any teams. Especially considering I have the IB stick thing, which you told me. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, have you gone against Scopo's team once?
Yes.
How did it go?
I mean, the first time I tried with my normal team, and back then I didn't use the IB stick, so I lost. But on the second try, I just slapped on like Mortal Kombat X Scorpion and Red Lantern Hal Jordan and some other some characters of that sort that use DOT super good, I guess. Yeah, that's a weird way to put it. Anyways, I used DOT, and yeah, I didn't have that big of a problem. And now that I use DOT even on my main team, yeah, not many problems. The only problem I would have is if I accidentally let my Jessica Cruz die because I don't use the Astro Harness on her. But
right, that's why you want to have Master Death Card, Tenta Totem, and Astro on your carry, so that happens. That's the whole idea, because as soon as like a character like what's he called, Mortal Kombat 11 or 10, Scorpion, the one with a lot of health, right?
Yeah, X is 10.
X, yeah. All right. That one has a ton of health. That's his passive. He has a ton of extra health. And you'd think in theory that that's a good thing. But what does it really do? Like, does it slow the enemy down? Not really. It doesn't slow their pace down. It doesn't do any damage. It's just a bit of extra health to take care of. So that's not really something you want to use.
Have you seen his special 2 and his block pattern? I mean,
it might slow you down like a tad bit, but compared to some other cards you can use, I wouldn't use them at all.
I mean, I'm more annoyed when I face Mortal Kombat X Scorpion, Static, and Deadshot because of their weird block patterns. And Static, I don't think I have to explain why. Yeah. More than any other teams, I guess. But yeah, I guess it's more annoying, but not more difficult.
Yeah, because the whole idea of a good defense team is you want to catch them off balance. So you can do that by using passives that disrupt the flow of the match, like Gaslight Batman, Prime Raven, New 52 Shazam, cards that make you pay attention, right?
I guess, yeah.
And then you also want them to do a lot of damage and at least be able to easily take out one character, because then it's a 2v3 match and that's already in your favor. And then you want to make sure that not a single card is just is geared in a way where you wouldn't notice he's geared until he uses a special or a basic attack, because that just means that's a health bar, right? That's a free health or it's a free KO for the enemy. Agreed?
I guess. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I might be going a bit far, but this is the tip of the iceberg.
I mean,
and it works, right? Because the team I just mentioned with Arkham Origins Deathstroke, it had a record of 11 wins and 2 losses. So that's nice. It's whatever, right?
So you're flexing on us now.
I am flexing, yeah. I'm just proving that it works. And if you use this strategy, you'll get at least, I'd say, 1 out of 3 wins. If you just use this on any character that fit the description, right?
I guess. Again, I'm not the right person to judge a defense team or used a defense team in my life. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people assume that great defense teams are always the synergistic teams, the Flashpoint team, the Blackest Night team. Those kind of teams are famous for being tough to beat, and they are when you don't have the best gears and you're not that used to them. But in defense, I tried using a Blackest Night team and it did okay, but that was more thanks to the gearing than anything else. Because people know it, right? People know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Especially at that stat level, because that's also something you got to keep in mind. If you're using 3 cards with high stats and then expect it to get amazing defense wins, sure, you'll get some, but most players that have reached that level know how to deal with pretty much any team. So unless you've got like a Shazam at Elite 6 Scopos, then you're not gonna get too many wins.
Flashbacks.
Sorry?
I said PTSD flashbacks.
Yeah.
Of the Great War.
Yeah. Reminds me of last week's pack opening. Oh my god, my heart still hurts.
Yeah, you've spent what now? 12k and no
in
Shazam.
Total, yeah.
Yeah, and do you have him what Elite 2?
I need 2 more copies. Next time I'm going for Ultimate Packs.
I'd cry if I were you. Yeah,
I did cry for like a week straight.
I mean, I have him at what, Elite 1, so I guess, yeah, I'm not that, I don't have a big advantage over anyone for any defense team, but, I mean, what is the meaning of defense? So what is the meaning of life?
Wow, getting deep, are we?
Yes. It seems like Maui has left because he was busy, so probably he had to run. So yeah.
Thank you for being in this episode, even though you might hear this a bit later. or it's gonna get cut out. That's also a possibility.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, based on my monologue, do you have any comments, questions, or?
I mean, I do have questions, which I know the answer to, but I'll ask for the sake of the podcast. But how come you don't get bored, or you're so focused, I guess, on MP and I guess don't get bored?
You mean like in general, or during a week that I'm going for top 3?
Yes. Everything.
Well, I guess I wouldn't have played as much if I hadn't gotten as involved in the community as I did. Like it's fun playing, like seeing others' ideas and talking to others about this game. Because the game itself, believe it or not, the gameplay gets stale pretty quick, in my opinion. I mean, it got stale for me a long time ago. But
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, 5,000 matches in 1 week with the same team, and you'll get pretty sick of it. But aside from that,
I mean, I would get sick of it if I did it once, and you've done it countless times. I mean, the thing is, how does Scarpos don't get bored? Like, what? I watch him every time in the leaderboards, and he's like, always 10 million and above. Like, always, every season. Like, my guy, you have a family, you have work. How do you get the time?
He says he multitasks, but then he also doesn't, because he goes at a pace switching teams that I know, like, there's no way that he's not spending at least 60% of his attention on that game. But it is a whole different thing when you're top 3. There's a different kind of motivation kicks in, because, well, it's fun to see your name up there, but it's also like the guy under you is getting close, and you don't want to waste all that effort you already spent, and then you just keep on going.
You can see the pain on their faces and laugh at their disappointment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've gotten like second place in the middle of, well, not even in the middle, at the start of a season, and that was before I even had Tented Totem. So I was trying to catch up to a guy that used the Luchador Bane, which was impossible.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I just settled for second place because after like 2 hours, the gap had gotten to like 2 epic battles, so like 70k or something. So I just gave up.
Yeah, the difference between a Lucy Bane team that's geared well and built well, and just any quick team in general without him, is just, it's so intense that when I did a couple of tests, like if it would be faster to switch teams or use a Lucy Bane team nonstop, but then use ads to recharge it, it's actually faster to use the Lucy Bane team and then watch 30 seconds of ads than it is to switch teams, in my findings at least. But it does get really boring if you just play with that team. It is the fastest and the most efficient way, and it's probably the team you're gonna need if you want a top 3 spot.
Yeah, I'd imagine, yeah.
But what keeps the game fun for me is trying out different things. Lately with defense, but trying out different teams, different characters, different builds. Because if you stick with one team just because it's the fastest, you're gonna get burned out really quick.
Don't you still play like 4 survivors every day?
I try to.
If I manage to play one survivor, like every month, I feel like I've accomplished too much this week. I don't even play challenges anymore. Like, if it's not a character I guess I like, I don't even bother. And even last week, was it Red Lantern last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was planning to get him someday, I guess. And I think I did manage to get one copy, but I never got around to get the second.
But that's all you need,
So
really. You just need to unlock him for promotions.
Well, I do have him at Elite 8, so he's eligible. But yeah, I never got the last copy. And I also, now that I think about it, I tried to break him through recently, and on Friday I forgot, as always. Saturday I remembered and broke him through to Elite 9. And then Sunday, I forgot, remembered it at like 10. Then I forgot again, and I remembered it at like 12:30. So breakthrough had already switched. So yeah,
That's gonna be a long wait. But
I mean, doesn't really affect me, so I don't really care.
yeah, it's just how you play the game, right? Like, even I don't. Well, that's just maybe because most characters I already have played the challenge, so I don't need to break them through or unlock them for promotion or get a copy. So most challenges I don't even bother because it takes like 2 to 3 hours, and it's
Too
just
long.
extra credits, which I don't need.
Oh, I don't even care about the characters. I just don't even open the game. I open it if there's an MP season that I'm missing a gear. So like the 5-6 past weeks, I was missing some crucial gears. Well, not crucial, but useful gears, I'd say. So I got them for like a month. I played online, and the challenges for the most part. But now that I'm not missing like almost anything from MP. I'm missing like one gear I think, which is coming soon, so I'll get it. But other than that, I don't know. I've gotten even. I mean, I guess even if I wasn't bored to play, I wouldn't have the time. So yeah.
It's also making a bit of time because I just like the defense thing. I don't really need to set up aside an hour like I would need to for survivor mode. It's just checking a few things, thinking like what would work instead of that, and then trying that again.
Oh, I'm not even talking about Survivor. I'm talking about the game in general.
Yeah.
I get like what, top 10%. So it's the silver star. I don't even bother get to gold. That's how bored I am. Yeah. It's phases, it's phases. I mean, I've got specific games I like, so I never really leave. So I always come back around and grind. But I've accomplished all my goals. So it was to unlock every gear slot and max every special of every character. So it took like what, 25 million. I did that in 1 month, I think.
Wait, you have a complete collection?
No, but I'm missing like what, 6-7 characters, so it's nothing.
That's a big deal. That's
I mean, I'm even missing like Suicide Squad Joker. So I'm missing like easy characters, easy to get characters. I'm just too bored to get them.
Yeah. By the way,
yeah.
I think he's a bit underrated, but that's just because his passive only works well when paired with other Suicide Squad characters, and those aren't the best. But it could be useful.
I wouldn't know. I don't have him. So yeah, that was my first goal when I returned. The second was to get back every gear and max it out because I had lost every gear I had due to a glitch from line. I mean, I did bring it to myself. I'm the cause of the thing that happened, but it's still a bummer,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last thing, I don't have any other goals actually. But yeah, the last goal I had was the 5 million pack opening I did quite a few months ago. It's been like, what, 6 months? So yeah.
Okay. I think we should end it soon.
Yes.
Just some closing thoughts. I hope you guys learned something about defense teams. This is just my take. I'm by no means amazing at it yet. I'm not near Scopos.
Inferiority complex match.
Sorry?
You have an inferiority complex.
How can I
wouldn't say
not?
you're.
Look at him.
I mean, I wouldn't say many things are different between you and Scalpus. So the only thing is he has a YouTube channel with, what is it, 10K, and you don't.
But
that's
we're
the
climbing.
only thing
We're
I'd
climbing. It might be. It might be true
Yeah.
next episode. Once we upload this, we're gonna blow up.
Yeah, exactly. We have 29 subscribers, I think, and we'll go to 29,000
But like
in a week.
If you think about it, that's not bad because last video we didn't advertise it on Reddit or anything, and we still got quite like 20 something, maybe 30 views, which are like people who listen to it genuinely, and that's crazy to me. But
yeah, I may have advertised it in the Scopus Discord server.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, nobody saw it because it was like
because
at
it's
the
from
time
you,
nobody
right?
Thank you. No need to be
just kidding.
to compliment me. But yeah, seriously, it was the time I mentioned it, I guess. Everyone is like asleep and no one was in line, so I guess you could say I didn't even advertise.
Yeah, but my point is, I'm just really grateful that there's actual people out there who listen to the whole thing, or at least a big part of the thing, just out of themselves. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
If there's any of you, if there's anyone,
there are. I've seen the analytics. There are some people crazy enough to listen to this for an hour.
I have to agree with the crazy, because I really don't see any reason to listen to us rambling. But I mean, I do appreciate it, so don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and we do make the occasional good point. Once in a blue moon, we make a good point.
I have to agree with that because you're in the podcast.
Thank you.
Give me those $5.
Yeah, it's like $50 by now.
Yes.
Okay, closing thoughts. Defense teams, I think they're pretty fun. They're underrated, but I mean underrated like in how much they're used or how little they're used. Don't add me with these Elite 1 defense teams with 450 gear scores. That's disgusting. Okay, that's not great. All right, thank you for listening. Thank you, Maui, for being here, and thank you, God of God, for still being here.
Bye. I mean, I do have better things to do, but I like it. So yeah, goodbye.
Bye.